Hey, what's up, guys? Once again, back on the farm. As you can see in front of me, these are the new seedlings for the tomatoes. They're just about to be transplanted. We actually brought these seeds a few weeks ago in preparation for bringing in the seeds to this part of the farm here. This whole area that you're seeing here, this is where we want all these seedlings that are on the bed here, right? We want to make sure that this whole area is planted with all these seeds. And probably you can see from my previous video, we started planting from that side and we are coming towards this direction here. And the main idea is to make sure that we bring these seeds to the boundaries where we've actually planted the corn, because where you're seeing this little branch of a tree over here, that's where we stopped planting the corn, and we took the corn all the way to the bottom to where you're seeing the other uh, corn that's growing from a distance over there. The corn is a part of the animal feed strategy that we have put in place. And the tomatoes, we are growing them because they're always on high demand. And we want to make sure that as a mixed farm, we are not only just keeping animals here, but we're growing crops. And those crops, they are also tapping into the corn. In my previous video, I explained that we're growing corn mainly to process it into animal feed. We have pigs, we have chickens, we have quails that we're keeping here. And we also have geese and the ducks, but we haven't brought them on this farm. They are on the other side of the farm. So that's what we are doing here. And if you can see from a distance over there, we do have some other crops that are growing. So I'm just gonna walk you over there so that I can show you exactly what we are growing there, and how it fits it in part of the plan. Like I've said, we are being very, very intentional with our farming. So we are not just throwing crops anyhow. We do know that we have long-term crops and then we have short-term crops. So what that allows us is to also make sure that the farm is also generating a bit of revenue, so that we can keep, we can reinvest that part of money into the farm. So for anybody who is just getting started with farming, or if you're looking into going into farming shortly, I think that's one of the things that you have to think about. There are some crops that you grow, and in as little as 30, 45 days, you would be harvesting and taking them to the market. And there are others that are ready within 65, 70 days, or even 90 days. And in our case, we do have those kind of crops. We're growing cucumbers, which are, they are quick to harvest. But we're also growing coriander, which in as little as 45 days, we would have harvested and take them to the market. And that allows us here on the farm to kind of like have a steady cash flow, so that we can also support some of the investments that we are doing. And right in front of me, you can see this piece of land here. This acreage, we've planted a variety of beans. We know that part of the process of bringing in enough protein at the farm, not only for the animals but also for the members of staff, because we do provide meals here on the farm. We make sure that in the morning the guys have got breakfast. We prepare rice porridge. We in somewhere around 10 or 11, we give them some drinks. We do bring in some orange squash and stuff like that. Make sure that at least they are properly hydrated, especially during uh, heat waves, we make sure that we have 6-8 bottles of fruit. I think they're about 5 liters. So we bring them, we keep them here, and some of the ladies that are part of the welfare team, they prepare them and they provide them to the lads. And what we're seeing here, this is going to also supplement some of the protein that we are providing them, because we collect some eggs here, because we have chicken layers here. We also have broiler chickens on our farm. We can't have them eating chicken and eggs each and every time, because there's an advantage here. When every morning, whenever we go and pick trays of eggs, there's a few eggs that are slightly smaller in size. You know, we sort them out. If they are not good for market, if they are cracked, if they are too small, when we grade the eggs, the members of staff, some of them, they take them home. Some of them, we prepare them here on the farm to eat. And these beans is part of supplementary nutrition as a source of protein. These guys, they're doing a lot of manual work, and they have to really have a proper diet. But not only that, because there's a lot of beans here. Probably we will also sell a couple of bags. Some of them will be put towards the animal feed processing. Where on the other side of the piece of land, we're growing soya beans. I think we've got about 8 acres, and another 8 acres has been allocated for the beans. And this is the first lot where now we've just started kind of like weeding them and making sure that we clear out the whole piece. The whole piece of land is free from weeds, so that we can have a good harvest. And for those of you who are familiar with beans, you would also know that um, uh, locally the leaves, these soft leaves here, these ones, they are processed. You can actually harvest them and take them to the market. On the other field, because we've got three of this size, on the other side, this is the smallest one that I'm showing you guys. On the other side, we can actually, I think last week we did about 260K in sales of these little leaves. It's called kwanya in our local language. I don't know what is it called in English language. In some of the, I think in some of the parts of the continent, these definitely these have got a different name. But here in Malawi, this is called the leaves. They are called kwanya, and it's very, very popular, and it's really delicious when you cook it. So we do harvest some of them. There are 3 members of the staff. They go around picking those soft leaves, and then there's a group of market sellers who actually come to buy. So most of them, they are ordering a day before. So early in the morning, they would come and collect the baskets. And last week, we've managed to make a bit of sales up to about 250, 260K out of these. So it's also a good source of steady income on the farm when you want to kind of like make a bit of money, so that you can reinvest that money into other things. Because with that money, I was able to take it to go and buy 3 bags of fertilizer that I'm applying on the other side of on the farm. And even if my members of staff, if they needed a bit of salary advance, I can take that and throw it in there. So we're not just planting crops anyhow. We are being very, very strategic about it, and the revenue source on a short term, but also on a long term, is one of them. So that's what is happening here. Not only that, like I also said, on this other side over there, you can see there are tomato trees from a distance. And the idea is to make sure that those seeds that I showed you at the beginning of the video, they are going to go all over this whole place so that we can have a bit of revenue coming towards us. Each and every month we have a few things that are going to the market. Yeah, so anybody who is getting started with farming, I think that's some of the things that you need to kind of like think about and see if you can kind of like bring in a bit of crops, because that's the advantage you have when you have mixed type of farming. I know there are others that are keeping animals only, and then there are others that are just growing corn. But on this piece of land, we do have both the animals as well as the crops. And in terms of the crops, we came up with a strategy. We calibrated our seasons. We know which products are on demand which season, and then we grow those crops in preparation for those seasons. As for some of you, you know that in Malawi, between January to somewhere around April, there's a shortage of onion. And I think one of the most strategic crop that we planted earlier on was the onions. And those crops have served us really very well, because we've been able to not only supply our customers with high quality onion, but we've also been able to bring in a lot more money that has allowed us to reinvest in other areas of the farming growth, to make sure that the farm is growing. And I think it's one of the best strategies when it comes to making sure that you are growing multiple types of crops, because just keeping animals only is profitable, don't get me wrong. But I think when you have animals and the plants, you kind of like have a never-ending source of multiple revenue streams. And I think that's very, very helpful for anybody who is considering to start farming as a business. And as you can see, the lads over here, they are busy at work, making things happen. And we are hoping that in the next few weeks, these little pieces of corn that you're seeing growing over there, they should start, looking more or less like what you're seeing over that side. For some of you in the boundaries, you can see this is sugarcane sprouting. Those sprouts, we are planting them on the edges of the road. This is a walkway. So each and every time, whenever we demarcate acreages, we have these walkways. And in the boundary, so what this young man is doing here is preparing this land so that we can plant the sugar canes. And the idea is next time around, next year, this time around, we will have, you see here, can you see here, it's been buried. This part that has been buried is a piece of sugar cane that is going to sprout into something like that sprout that I just shown you over there. So we are hoping that when all these seeds have been that have been planted here have sprouted, you can see here we have all these pieces of sugar cane. We've cut them into pieces, and we are planting them all over as part of the acreage boundary. But we know that next year, this time around, there will be as tall as 7 feet and as sweet as the sugar. So that's what is happening here, and that's the whole idea here. So anybody who is thinking about starting farming, think about that, and make sure that you pick up some of the crops that you want to grow strategically, so that you can run with it. And what you're seeing here is the shed that I told you about that we are fixing. We are going to put a biogas digester here at the back, and that's going to be connected into that cabin over there. The roofing is going to come on the top. We've just finished putting that plastic just to make sure that it's waterproof. And we are going to come up with the roofing that's going to come on top. When that roofing has been put, then we're going to start working inside there. So it's an upgrade from this one, because every time whenever it rained, we used to hide in this little shack over here. But now when it rains, we all go in that one, and we're going to have multiple cabins here and on the other side, because on this piece of land, you can see it's massive. We have this whole area of covering all this. This farm is sitting on about 15 hectares. So there's a lot of land to go around for us. We've barely just scratched the surface. And this is where the quails are going to come in. We've just started putting the structure in place. And I believe that by next week, we should have it finished, so that the quails can move in here. This is just beginning of the foundation, and the guys who are building this, next week they should have it all sorted out. All right, I'll see you later, guys, in the next video. Cheers.